All right, so we've all heard it a million times, right? Hard work is the key to success. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if it's only half the story? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea that kind of flips that conventional wisdom on its head. We're going to explore why the real goal isn't just to work harder, it's to work smarter. And it all kicks off with this simple but pretty provocative thought. Yeah, this gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's a bold statement. It basically suggests that the endless hustle, all those late nights, the whole grind culture, that might not actually be the path to real wealth and freedom. It really forces you to stop and question the very foundation of how we've been taught to approach our work and our ambitions. And that, right there, is the million-dollar question, isn't it? What does smart work actually mean? Is it some kind of secret trick, a special skill you have to learn? Or is it a completely different way of thinking about things? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in this explainer. We're going to define it, we're going to explore it, and we're going to see what it actually looks like in practice. Okay, so first things first, we need to really understand the problem we're trying to solve here. Our culture, it celebrates the grind. We're constantly told to hustle, to outwork everybody else. But here's the thing. This can so easily become a trap that keeps you super busy, sure, but not necessarily productive in the ways that truly matter. Here's the fundamental problem, right? For most of us, if you're paid by the hour or you're on a salary based on a 40-hour week, you're trading your life's most precious, most finite resource, your time, directly for money. And let's be real, there are only 24 hours in a day. You can't make more time. So by definition, your earning potential has this hard mathematical ceiling you just can't break through. So this really lays out the two different paths you can take. On one side, you've got the grinder. This person is on a totally linear track. 1 hour of work equals 1 hour of pay. Simple as that. But that path, it almost always leads to burnout because, like we just said, you can't create more time. But then you have the builder. And the builder is playing a completely different game. They're focused on creating assets, things that generate income for them. Their growth isn't a straight line, it's exponential. And that is the crucial, game-changing distinction. Okay, so how do you actually do it? How do you get off that grinder's treadmill and become a builder? Well, it's not about some new productivity hack or a fancy app. Nope, it requires a fundamental, deep-down shift in your entire mindset, moving from just doing tasks to actively building systems. All right, so here it is. This is our working definition of smart work. And let's be super clear. It's not about avoiding effort or being lazy, not at all. It's about applying your effort intelligently to build assets. Things like a business, a piece of software, a personal brand, an investment portfolio, anything that continues to provide value and generate returns even when you're not actively physically working on it. I mean, this is such a huge change in scale. A grinder wakes up in the morning and thinks, okay, how can I get through my to-do list today? But a builder, they wake up and ask a totally different question. What can I create today that will keep working for me tomorrow and next month and next year? The whole ambition shifts from just completing tasks to building these self-sustaining empires, no matter how small they might start. So, if that's the mindset, what's the actual how-to? What's the methodology? Well, it really all comes down to 3 core pillars. And here they are. Number 1, build systems. 2, embrace automation. And 3, make strategic moves. You can almost think of it like a sequence, right? First, you build a repeatable process. Then, you use technology to run that process for you. And that frees you up to focus on the big picture, high-impact decisions. Let's make this stuff a bit more real, though. A system doesn't have to be some crazy complicated thing. It could just be a simple checklist you use for every new client. And automation, that could be as easy as setting up auto replies for the common questions you get all the time. And strategy, well, that's about leverage. It's choosing to create one video that thousands of people can watch, instead of having the exact same one-on-one conversation 10 times a day. See? Each one of these pillars is designed to buy back your most valuable asset, your time. So, what happens when you actually put all this together? When you combine systems, automation, and strategy? The outcome, it's a fundamental shift. You go from just surviving to actually truly thriving. And the ultimate goal here isn't just about having a bigger bank account. It's about so much more than that. It's about winning back the things that really matter: your time, your autonomy, your freedom. It's about having the option to choose what you work on, when you work on it, and ultimately how you live your life. I mean, this really is the ultimate choice when you boil it all down. On one side, you have that feeling of just surviving. You're constantly grinding, you feel stuck, you're basically a slave to the clock. But on the other side, you have thriving, where your assets are working for you, you're experiencing real meaningful growth, and you're building true, lasting freedom. The difference? Well, it couldn't be more stark. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought, a little challenge. Instead of just thinking about your to-do list for this week, I want you to ask yourself this question: what is one system you can build? It could be a repeatable process, one small piece of automation, just one tiny little system that will save you time and energy every single week from now on. Because that's where the real shift begins.